Uh-oh. You can't hear me again?
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry. Welcome. Let's start this over. Let me share this and make sure that the people see what it is. All right. Okay, so just let it give a second so the people can tune back in.
Mm-hmm.
We are live. I can hear us. I can see us. Everything's in sync. Let me just invite the people back on. All right, cool. All right, so we're back. If you guys can see us, hear me, everything, please type in the chat. Let me know. I'm so sorry about the inconvenience there. But that's the beauty of the internet sometimes. So we're going to end scene, act again, okay? So, welcome to Thrive Abundantly TV. I'm Lauren Elsie Thrive as a thriving entrepreneur. What makes me the thriving entrepreneur, I don't stop, I don't quit. I will come back and get things going the way it's supposed to be. This is things that happen. There's no need to go and cry over spilled milk. We just get back up and do things that we need to do. But by all means, I'm going to always be here and deliver the information to you as promised. So, for those who might have tuned in the last live, like I said, we're back on. So this will be recorded, so you guys can always catch in and tune in. But we have our special guest, Vonne Williams, who is on. She is based out of New York from North Carolina, and she is a tax and business professional. So she's really adamant and passionate about helping entrepreneurs to exceed and move forward. One of the specialties that Vonne particularly focused on is helping small business to make sure that they're profitable and doing the things that they particularly need. So, wanted to just hold on. Whoop, somebody can't. Did you guys hear us? I hope so. I'm going to keep continuing, but Vonne has been supporting, clients in accounting and taxation and financial advisement for the past 8 years. And she is specializing in small business and not-for-profit taxation. She also assists clients in financial planning and budgeting through seminars and conferences. And by all means, we have back Vonne Williams. Welcome. Thank you.
Sure.
So, we were, covering things to just tell us a little bit more about yourself, because this is a new video. So I want to make sure that, for those who are tuning in and watching this over, that they can be able to know more about you and what particularly you do. So tell us about yourself again.
Okay, cool. So again, my name is Vonne Williams. I am a profit and growth coach, and I support individuals and small businesses to create financial abundance for their families and communities. And, I just see a need. We don't money and the lack thereof, or the more we have, is just a taboo subject in our community. So I want to dispel some of the myths, get people comfortable, get us responsible with our finances, and, create some abundance in our communities.
Awesome. Absolutely. So I was particularly asking, some questions that was very helpful and needed. Like, I've been getting people, because all this week we've been talking about, S corps, LLCs, understanding business entities. I've had a few questions. I've been, for those who are on my email list, has been sending me questions, and I've definitely been holding off and waiting for when you come on, because as I always say, I'm not a tax professional, but I'm very educated in the area over the years of being a business owner. But what would you say are the top 5 tax benefits of being a business owner?
Okay, so first and foremost is the deductions. I mean, even if your small business is a side hustle, if you will, there's about 400 or so different deductions that we can take as business owners. Even if it's a small business, small home-based business like photography or floral design or something like that, we can still take all the deductions as a business, be it gas mileage, the car, equipment, dinners, or meals over business, pens and paper, like pretty much everything. There's also deductions that you can take in the square footage of your house, where you can deduct portions of your electric bill, your internet bills, like that. So it's very beneficial as business owners that we can take the deductions. There's also, as a business owner, there's a level of freedom that we get to have. We have our jobs, and they can be aggravating or whatever they can be or whatever. Some jobs are very fulfilling, but those of us that kind of work for ourselves, it's still, there's a level of aggravation, but it's a good aggravation.
Yeah.
And we still have bosses. I have 300 bosses, 300 plus bosses, that I have to answer to. So but it's still a level of freedom that that doesn't really happen on a job. If we're blessed enough to have employees, then we get to now be able to contribute to other people's financial abundance. We can provide jobs for the people in our community, which is amazing for me. Then there's a level of flexibility, which is different from freedom. Flexibility gives me the opportunity to say, well, I may not want to work 5 days this week. I may want to work all 7, or I may just want to work 3 and, do something else the other 2. So there's a level of flexibility there. But for me personally, I do a lot of other work in the community. So I get to go out and be in the community during the week, during work hours. And so I can be in service and contribution that way. So I love that flexibility personally. And then as we grow as business owners, now we get to contribute also to the wealth of our communities. So what I do is I do financial seminars, and sometimes depending on who it is, I may do tax preparation for free. I give advice for free, and that's how I get to contribute back to the community, and tell people how to make their money grow, or how to hold on to it, or how to invest it. And for me, that's very fulfilling. So those are my personal top 5 benefits to being a business owner.
Yeah, there's a few that you said that's definitely, especially the difference of freedom and flexibility. You do get the freedom, but it doesn't mean that you're just boss free. Exactly. You have to answer to your clients and things like that. But there is a flexibility. I'm one of those. I choose not to work on weekends per se. Like after a certain hour on Friday, I'm clocking out, or things like that. And if I need to, I'm in Atlanta right now, which is why I look all golden and hot. It's hot down here. But you have the flexibility that I can just get up and be where I need to be, visit and things like that. And I'm able to mix business with pleasure, and it's a tax deductible. So it's like I get paid to see my family, thanks to Uncle Sam,
All right.
So it's really good to understand that. I'm glad that you were on and spoke about that, because there's a lot of things that, small business owners per se don't know or have that understanding. And that was one of the things that was a big deal breaker for me, with all the deductions and things like that. So thank you for sharing that and really kind of giving a highlight of whatever the case may be. But what would you say are really important things as far as like when you are starting out, when you knew, like you said, even though it's a side hustle or things like that, like what would you say is really important for someone who's a new business owner, what they should focus on and the right ways to set themselves up?
Okay. So if it's necessary to set up a different entity than yourself, then do that. So there's sole proprietors, there's partnerships, there's limited liability companies or LLCs, there's subchapter S Corp, subchapter C Corp, and there's also partnership LLCs. So it depends on what your particular needs are. I personally believe that we should separate ourselves from our businesses, even if it's just, even if it's a business where there's not really any employees or anything like that, but like get a tax ID number that's separate from your social, and set up a bank account that's separate. Like separate yourself from the business, even though the federal government looks at sole proprietors as small businesses. It's still good to go ahead and set yourself up, even though it's just you. Set yourself up as a business. It's really easy, even if it's a sole proprietorship. LLCs and S corps and all those things, you kind of got to go through some other legal stuff, but it's really simple. And and again, that's my personal belief that you should definitely separate yourself from the business. And depending on your needs, you get to decide what's going to work for you and, your family or whomever, be it an LLC or S corp or C corp. LLCs is the same thing as a sole proprietorship, but you get you have some liability protection. So if something goes down with the business, and you get sued, they can't come and take your personal assets. So anything associated with the business, cars, equipment, whatever, they can take that, but they can't come and take your house. They can't take your car, your kids, like that. They can't take your personal assets. So limited liability companies are very good to have.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, for those, I did give, some advantages and disadvantages of LLC as well as S corp. Now, I know LLC is the way to go more for when you are, a small business and you're new and starting out. And I definitely did specify, like, it's really important for you to get an EIN number, like a tax ID number, and separate yourself. So, and I know that's particularly free, like, as far as getting an EIN number. I got mine at a bank. Or whatever, and they set it up. And so what would you say, like, for someone, like, if they are kind of like when they're at a place? Okay, so one of the things that I did get a question from one of my mailers was, they have this business, they have like a t-shirt line or something, and they are branding to get their business out there, and they wanted to know about like trademarking, and should they go and get like the trademark, because when you're starting out, money is tight, things like that. So what would you say for someone who's a new business owner, and they like, should they go in a direction of trademarking their business and then getting like an LLC? Or I also spoke on a DBA, like doing business as. So what would you say for someone like that, for, the person who is on my mailing list who wants to know more about, like, what direction that should they go with trademarking their brand and their business? What's is it necessary to do? What is your professional advice about that?
Well, if you're trademarking a product, like, do that first.
Okay.
Absolutely do that first. Trademarking a product or copywriting, book, music, whatever, make sure that happens, so that if somebody else comes along in the interim, you have it, like, it's yours, it's your brand. So I say trademark right away.
Okay. So ASAP, neat.
Yeah. And it can happen simultaneously. It doesn't necessarily have to be one before the other one, but if you have a product and this is like pretty unique to you, absolutely get it protected so that, it's yours.
Yeah.
And nobody else can come along and take it. Did that answer your question? Was that a 2-part question?
Oh, no, that was definitely needed, because it was just more like when they asked, it was like, should they already been running the business, to my understanding. Mm-hmm. They were asking, like, should I get a trademark? Should I do my trademark first? Should I do my LLC? Because, trying to weigh out the options, when starting out with budget and things like that. So what would you also say for someone who's starting out and, budgeting, their business is going, but, they are having like that, the beginning means the humble beginnings of, a particular entrepreneur who's just starting out? Like, what are the main focuses that they should particularly look at?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, they should keep some good records of their finances. Like, in the beginning, you're spending a lot of money. You're putting out a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So if you're spending cash, make sure that you keep your receipts. If you're not spending cash, your bank records are good enough. All right. But they still get to be organized in a way that like you can understand it. What I've noticed with small businesses is that what we do is that we're going, getting the business up, we're out, we're selling products, we're providing services, and we don't know if we're making money or not because we're not having any good records. We don't know if we went to an event and we sold, 200 t-shirts, but did we take into account how much those t-shirts costed in the first place, or how much it cost to rent a booth at the event, or how much it cost to get us to the event. Like, we don't take into consideration any of that stuff. And it's like, well, I made $1,000 out here. Well, not really.
Really, yeah.
If it cost you $800 to get there, you only made $200.
Yeah.
But people don't really get that. And the next thing we know is that the business is not a business anymore, which breaks my heart. That's why I do what I do. Right. I want to see us thrive. I want to see us do well. And so it's very important to keep good accounting records. And if you don't know how to do it, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, give it to an accountant, call me, I'll help you out. Put it in something, you can sync your bank accounts to accounting software like Wave, which is free, and QuickBooks Small Business, which is like $6 or $7, $8 a month. I forget. It's not $10 a month. It may be, but
I think it's a little over, yeah.
Yeah, pick one and sync your bank accounts to it so that you know what's going in and what's going out. Even if you're not doing it on a monthly or weekly basis, hook it up so that you can have somebody decipher all of that stuff for you. Because again, what we want to do is we want to make money, we want to prosper. But if we don't know where we are, then we're going to go out of business and we're back to square one. And now, we got some other issues because now we're pissed off and mad. And, we're in our head about a failed business. And, then life takes a different turn. And,
right.
So, yeah. I mean, you understand what I mean? Yeah.
No, I totally, agree with that. And I'm glad that you spoke on the importance of keeping records. So you're saying from the beginning, from the idea starting out, keep records.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, that's really important. I mean, I'm very big on, I even gave a free, thing that I use. It's free for like 2 weeks or something like that. And it's like $10 or something a month. I just typed the link in the chat for those who need it or use it. It's something that I use. Has been a game changer for me with my business and making it a lot easier. Everything is accessible quick on a phone. You could just take the picture, receipt, and go. Like when I was I had to take my, the cab or whatever to get here and Lyft. As soon as they sent it to me, I screenshot it, put it in a thing on my phone while I'm still in the car, and I was able to keep records right then and there. So it's really important. I'm glad that you highlighted on that. So what would you say is like really important for, like as far as for those who are self-employed business owners? Most of them are like home-based business owners and things like that. So this is a two-part question I want to ask you. Like, what would you say, like, how would you say for someone who are running their business, whether from home or not, like the best way that they should prepare, like, yes, keeping records and everything, as they go throughout the year, but how would they prepare themselves for tax season?
Okay, that's loaded. You know that, right? So,
that's why I said it's going to be like a couple of questions, but it's simple as possible.
Well, because this is uncomfortable as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, we just, life happens and we don't include everything. And, sometimes it's you file your taxes and then there's a form that's missing here. And, you get a letter, oh my God, why do I owe this money? Well, you didn't bring the form. My rule of thumb, and this is as crazy as it can be, but if you get letters from the IRS or the state, shove it in a folder somewhere, have your tax preparer help you decipher it. A lot of times as well, small business owners and independent contractors are looked at by the federal government as small business owners or small businesses. And so it's important to keep account of your income as a small business owner. And it's not always about the deductions, because a lot of the times, if you do a contract for somebody, they'll send you a 1099 miscellaneous,
mm-hmm.
and we'll forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we won't include it in the tax return, and then we get ourselves in trouble. So it's very important that when we get things in the mail or we get notices that we, you know, contact our accountants and tax preparers right away so that the problem doesn't like escalate.
Right.
And yeah, and so, and also if you take like credit card payments, there's a 1099K that we're supposed to report as well, because that's income, but they're not going to send you that in the mail. That's something that we have to go onto, you know, the website and download. So it's very important to like just keep account of everything. Like I said, shove it in a folder, you know, take a picture of it, send it to your accountant, let them, you know, ask questions just to stay on top of the business, because that's what we're here for. We're here to support you, not to, you know, make life hard, but here to support you so that you don't stay in trouble and you can go ahead and run your business and create, you know, what you create, t-shirts, you know, thriving businesses or whatever the case may be. You get to do that, and you don't have to worry about, you know, the minutia and the number crunching.
Okay, that makes sense. So, okay, so that also brought up another particular question. So, okay, so what you're saying is like definitely is important to keep track of records and expenses and what you put in, but it's very important to keep track of what you got coming in and your income.
Absolutely.
1099. To my understanding, with 1099, is if you make over $600, they like the company per se would send it to you, but it's still important to still keep those records. Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, that definitely particularly makes sense. So, so for someone who like, because a lot of times that's something, if maybe like, you know, those who work for network marketing companies, they get the 99s and things like that. But if someone's starting a business particularly from scratch, what are they supposed to keep like records of particular income if they're getting paid like cash and things like that?
Well, cash is sticky. Cash is hard to crack. So, you know, if you're not going to keep account of cash, it's free money. I know I shouldn't say that, but you know, I personally I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
As crazy as this sounds, like, put it in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Put the checks in the bank. That way, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, what you had coming in and what you had going out. Again, if you're using Excel spreadsheet, whatever your accounting method is, just keep account of what you have, you know, coming in. And if it's more than $600, maybe they'll send you a 1099 and maybe they won't. If they don't send you a 1099, then that means that the government does not know about it, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't report it. Like, we get to be in integrity.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, it do, and I know the lines that it has to particularly cross when answering that. So another question I really want to ask, and this is what I see a lot, even with my clients, you know, I get a lot of, you know, clients either they're just starting out, you know, trying to fit money in where it needs to be, or they have been running their business for a while. And I find this, and it drives me crazy and cringe a little bit, because I talked about not letting your cousin Ray and Pookie and them do your taxes. So why is it really important when you are a business owner, you know, an entrepreneur? Is it really important that, you know, we make sure that we have a tax preparer to do our taxes, and what are the things that we should particularly know before hiring out one, and what should we look for?
Well, we as tax preparers and accountants, we have to. It's a must. We have to take at least 15 continuing education credits every year before we can renew our PIN numbers and all of that. So we're up to date on what the new tax laws are, right? A tax preparer, an enrolled agent, a CPA, accountant, we're very well versed in what's really good. Now, cousin Ray may used to have been a tax preparer, and if that's the case, you know, cool. But if cousin Ray doesn't know that in your 600 square foot apartment that you can deduct at least 200 square feet of that, and you can deduct a portion of your internet bill, and you can deduct a portion of your electricity bill and your phone bill from that, then you're missing out on deductions.
Which means you're missing out on some money.
You're missing out on your tax liability.
Right. Yes. Which
and maybe your money.
Taxes. Yeah.
Also, cousin Ray might let you use his kid on your return. And Cousin Ray gonna get you in trouble, and Cousin Ray is not gonna know how to get you out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna be mad because you claimed his kid, and now you can't give him his cut. So yeah, you just gotta really be careful about that. And we as tax preparers are not going to get you in any trouble. We're just not. And you know, your cousin or whomever means very well, but they just don't know what they don't know.
Absolutely.
And doing taxes on TurboTax and you know the online things are very good. They're very good. They're very simple, and it's very easy. But at the same time, there's no liability on the other person's part. If I make a mistake, it's $500 per return.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad.
It's a $500 penalty. That is a deterrent not to make a whole bunch of mistakes.
Right.
Not to falsify returns. And so there's a different level of accountability on our parts that we're not going to get you in trouble, because if you get in trouble, we get in trouble, and that's not cute. Nobody don't have $500. We don't even charge $500 for the tax return.
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, there's a different level of accountability in hiring a professional.
Right. I'm glad you touched on that, because that was about to be my next question. Like, what about, you know, the online tax programs and things like that? Now, I know it's different when you have your own, when you just work a job or, you know, and things like that. But as a entrepreneur and, you know, you have your own business and you're starting out, I know it's very different, and it's really important. And proper record keeping, the tax liability, all these things are very important. And you know, it could get you slammed up in different areas.
Absolutely.
So for those who are tuning in, who are on, if you have any particular questions for Vonne, you know, about like taxes or anything that, you know, we may have not covered or answered, by all means, type it in the chat. You know, if you thought this was very helpful, I said I was bringing somebody on. I said we were coming forward with everything. Definitely, you know, share this. We appreciate the hearts, the thumbs up, the likes, and all those things. But definitely, you know, if you have any questions, we're going to stay here for a couple minutes. If you have any questions that you want to go ahead and type in and ask, please ask, because we got the expert right here. She's right here. So go ahead and type in. But in the meantime, while they're doing that, Vonne, and I know this is like the middle of the day, and then when we had to log back on, everybody's not on, so people will catch the replay. But is there any last words or, you know, particular advice that you would like to share for, you know, us entrepreneurs and what we should particularly look at? And then how could we reach you? Okay.
So just be responsible. Like if you have an idea and you've been given a vision to go forth and be an entrepreneur, like go for it and give it all you got. Don't be scared. Just jump in and do it. And trust that if you've been given the vision, that it will be supported. It will be supported from wherever the vision came from. All right. And be responsible and treat it like you really love it.
Right.
And, you know, keep good records and, you know, get a good accountant in your pocket and get all the support that you can. And we don't have to do this by ourselves. There's plenty of people. There's accountants, there's marketers, there's public relations. Like, get some support and keep support. Build you a good team. Most successful people have not done, all successful people have not done it alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Man, you got me over here like, woo, yes, because I definitely, when I started really moving, you know, a lot of times we think, you know, a lot of people get that self-made, I do this all by myself kind of thing, especially when you do leave off and become an entrepreneur, you leave from the job, you do kind of have that mindset of thinking like you're all on your own. I did a live video, I think last Friday here on the show, and I talked about 10 power moves for entrepreneurs, and one of the things were, I think the third one was build your team, you know, really get yourself in a place where, you know, you have people, like you said, an accountant in your pocket, you know, a business coach. This is why I even started ThriveAbundantly.
Right.
I have my business. I've been doing things, but I get a lot of questions, and I've been guiding a lot of people in their business to help them, you know, succeed. So this is where I even, decided to go for it and get a coach for myself so I can keep someone looking over my shoulder. You don't see a lot of things when you're on. It's a lot of stress when, as an entrepreneur, just dealing with your personal life as well as your business. So, you hit the nail on the head with that. So, okay, I have a question. She said, I have Jim out of New York says, I have registered my business name. Should I trademark it? And then she said, what is your contact information? So we did cover this a little bit, Jim, but Vonne, you can kind of touch back on that question.
Okay. If you're a brand and you definitely want to trademark it, if you have a product, you definitely want to trademark it. A name, if it's registered, like my business is Activate Increase. It's registered with the state of New York. If somebody else tried to get it, they couldn't get it because Activate Increase already exists. Okay. But if it's a brand like Rough Riders or Sony, right, you want to get that. You want to go ahead and get that trademark. If you have a product that you want it to stay proprietary, absolutely get it trademarked. Get all your stuff copywritten. And my website, my web address is www.activateincrease.com. You can get me on Facebook, Vonne Williams, Profit and Growth Coach. Follow me on Instagram, activate_increase. My number is 646-796-9018. Give me a call. Shoot me an email, Vonne@activateincrease.com. Yep. Mm-hmm.
.com.
Yep.
All right, it's on the screen, guys. So activateincrease.com is how you can reach her. And could you go ahead and say your number again, please?
917. Nope. 646-796-9018.
All right, guys. So that's how you can particularly contact her. And I got one more question, a little bit about the brand and the trademark a little bit. So, I'm in a similar space. Okay, so I have Thrive Abundantly, right, as my business. But my LLC is under a different particular name. It's Global Thrive LLC. So for that particular, I'm thinking of at a space of trademarking. So if I were to do trademarking, it would be like Thrive Abundantly because that's the nickname of my business and what I do. So that would be someone who's in that particular place that they would probably trademark if they brand themselves in that way. Right. Okay. Well, I definitely thank you for that. And we got a lot of people saying thank you in the chat. Awesome. Your information was helpful. Guys, if you really enjoyed this information, definitely, get in contact with Vonne if you need to at activateincrease.com. And she's, what was your Facebook page again?
Oh, Vonne Williams, Profit and Growth Coach. That's my business page. And then, of course, Vonne Williams is me. We can be friends. That's fine.
So yeah, if you need to, particularly find her and contact her, this is, her page there. I love you guys. I hope this was very helpful. Sorry about the little mix up, but like I said, we make it happen. These are the things that we particularly do. So like I said, I really believe in all you guys. When you're starting out the business, you always need a support system. You need people like this. This is exactly why I do this show, to have people on. I got some really exciting things and more things out there for you guys. Thank you, Vonne, for coming on and being patient with all the little mishap. I'm traveling. I'm not in my normal place. People can tell from my background. But I definitely appreciate your time. And is there any last words that you particularly want to say before we go?
Well, I'm humbled to have been on this Facebook Live with you. Thank you so much for having me. Again, go for it. Give it all you got. Jump in the middle. See how it turns out. And if you make mistakes, it's not a tattoo, it's not permanent.
Yeah.
And broken crayons still color. So if we make mistakes, that's like a learning process, if you ask me. And some mistakes are a little more costly than others. But there's still mistakes, and we don't learn and we don't grow if we don't make mistakes. When we're kids, how many times does it take us to learn how to walk or tumble and fall on our face before we actually do it? So, and we're gonna have mistakes over and over and over again. but it's just a stumbling block. Like get up, dust yourself off, keep it moving, like, and don't stop until you get where you want to be.
Absolutely. And with that said, guys, we are off. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Friday. This live will be on my page. And for those who are looking for me, you can find me at CEO LC Thriver. Same as, my name there. And yeah, keep going. It's like we need to be like babies when they walk. They'll keep trying and falling and stumble. So I appreciate you, Vonne. And, definitely love and prosperity to you guys. And we're out. LC Thriver and Vonne signing out.